and welcome back to another video on this channel. Today we're going to be reviewing the Marvel Studios action film Thunderbolts, directed by Jake Shear, starring Florence Pugh, Lewis Pullman, Wyatt Russel, among many others. This film was an interesting experience for me. I've been very tepid on Marvel films as of late. I've liked some of them, you know, the new Captain America film being one of them. However, I felt that was a bit TV-esque in its cinematography, and it made me worried for Marvel films. The script and acting in that film was very strong, which made me enjoy it more than I would have if it weren't, of course. But the direction was uninspired, and I was worried about where this film was going to go, because the trailers looked really exciting for Thunderbolts, you know, a lot of A24 sort of referencing in there, and it looked like a lot of fun ensemble piece, much like the original Avengers, but also mixed in with the Suicide Squad, directed by James Gunn. However, this film isn't really any of that. It is entirely its own thing, but not in a way that's like, yeah, we're our own thing, we're amazing because of that. It was actually its own thing. It really didn't take inspiration from a lot of other Marvel projects. It wasn't trying to copy the original Avengers. It genuinely, these characters blended together so well from all the various shows and films that they've been in over the past few years, and they've never connected like this, and now that they do, they are great. I mean, for example, Ghost in this film was characterized much better than she was in Ant-Man 2. In that film she was fine, but here you really do feel like she's a human being. Yelena, this is really Yelena's film, and I really like it for that, because she is a very strong character in Black Widow and in Hawkeye. She's very interesting in those films, but she just fall into the one note. Here she has a void in her, as she says, and she's lost, and she needs to find the spark again that made her her, and understand why it left, and all of this pain that's weighing on her after all these years. It's a very human and understandable thing. It's pushed to the extreme here, because obviously she was a child assassin and was an assassin until very recently, really. This film handles her character journey really well, and it really surprised me, because one thing I really loved about this film, it was so typical in the Marvel structure, in any kind of action film structure, yet it was also telling that structure very differently. Yes, you get, you know, a midpoint, and you get a dark night of the soul, and you get a third act turning point, and you get the big final battle, but it's presented in many different ways. For example, the big final battle in this film wasn't a big massive laser in the beam, lasers everywhere, you know, punching fight. In this film, we go inside of the void, which is a literal physicalization of depression, anxiety, dark mental health in general, and we literally travel through that, and all of these characters who all have mental health struggles, you know, Bucky being a famous one, Wyatt Russell's US agent being another famous character for this. All of them go in there and all face their demons and see horrendous things, and that's the final battle, and it's convincing this guy to accept and live with the darkness and try and keep it under control, as opposed to letting it run wild and being its own thing. And I really like that, because that's what a hero is. It's somebody who helps other people based off their own experiences, and this film just nailed that. You don't need to, there's no chance these characters, or any character really in the Marvel universe right now, is going head to head with Sentry and winning in any capacity. You know, you can't make him the villain and not have a fight, because it's a Marvel film. The way they do it here is amazingly done. I don't really want to get into too much, because you should watch this, but as I say, they go into this mind battle and they punch, yes, and they shoot, but they also talk and they communicate and they express emotion, which is crazy, because I felt like Captain America Brave New World, what really wanted to do that in its ending is have an emotional, you know, lethargic breakthrough for the villain. However, it didn't. It worked, but not how they wanted it to, and it was just about serviceable to be like, okay, I get where you're going. I don't really feel it, but it works in the story and the characters and everything makes sense. However, here it connected to me, and I actually felt the emotion of the scene, which is super important, especially in a film like this, which really wants you to feel these characters, especially Yelena and her arc, and this film does that really well for me. There's many other moments in the film where we are hinted at dark mental health issues between the characters, particularly Bob, who is the main villain, who becomes Sentry, and he, you know, he has some kind of mental health issue, or some mood disorder for sure. They struggled with addiction. The way they handle it is so classy as well. It's not pandering, and it's also not shying away from the actual dark sides of mental health that can impact so many people. And the themes of her and Sentry having the same struggles, he just has this superpower that amplifies it and personifies it, and she can understand it. She goes in there with him and she pulls him out. I just think it's a beautiful message delivered so well in a Marvel action film. It's a fantastic film. You must go and watch it. For me, if I was going to give this a review rating out of 5, I'd say this is a solid 4.5. There are obviously some weak points, and not every character is fully realized. Bucky is He's in and out, but he has a continuous arc throughout of all these films and shows anyway, so you don't expect any arc there, any major arc. Like I said, Ghost is undeveloped. Alexei is fine. He's the comic relief, and he's very much good at that. But again, his arc is he's just in service of Yelena, which is good. But yeah, that wraps up kind of my review. It's a bit of a jumbled waffle, and I'm just talking about what I like about it. And this is definitely the best Marvel film of this year so far. It's not had much competition. I think Fantastic Four will probably trump it. Some great action directing, some fantastic editing, and just some great written and acted character moments. This is a great film for you. Please get out there and watch it. Go with your girlfriend, go with your boyfriend, go with your family, go with yourself. Who cares? Just get out there and watch it. It's a fantastic watch. And yeah, thank you so much for your time again. I'll see you in the next one. The next video is a video mini analysis of the comedy Seth Rogen film Pineapple Express, which I'm super happy to sit and break down. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.